Accused Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson making his first in-person court appearance as the judge weighs a key decision over media access. This is the most significant step in the case so far, with a ruling on the matter expected at the end of the month. Robinson showing little emotion at the start, but was spotted smiling at one point during the hearing. Founder and president of American Frontier Strategies, Mehek Cooke, joins me now. Mehek, yesterday was all about whether or not at trial the judge is going to allow cameras in the courtroom. My lawyerly instinct says the judge will allow it. But how truly open and transparent will this trial be? I'm talking, will we get motions redacted? Will we get in camera, which is in chamber court hearings, sort of hidden from the public? In the end, will we get the full picture, Mehek?
Todd, I think this judge is very firm. He's very measured. He's thoughtfully looking at this case, and the media will get access. There's going to be a balancing act between giving this defendant due process and the presumption of guilt, in addition to making sure the public and the media is able to have a seat at the table to actually watch this case unfold. The defense makes this argument in every single case that they have, that they don't want prejudicial evidence in there. They don't want the media access. And this is one of the most high-profile cases. But we have tried terrorists and we have tried mob bosses in America without shielding the American people. Erica Kirk and so many Americans have asked for the right to see this trial. And I think that the judge is actually going to allow it. But I do think that there's going to be parameters. Media is not going to be able to take pictures of Tyler Robinson in shackles. They're not going to be able to take pictures, for instance, of the defense's computers and some of the evidence laid out on the table. But I do think this judge will give access, and the media should be able to actually challenge some of these access questions. So this is an extremely important, eye-opening case. One thing that the judge is trying to do, though, is be thoughtful and careful, because we don't want this case reversed on reversible error, where we reopen this case, relitigate it, and millions of Americans, including Erica Kirk and her family, have to relive this. So I applaud this judge that he's being judicious and extremely thoughtful.
I agree with you 100%, Mehek. He's doing everything that he needs to be doing so far, because that threat of appeal is always there, and you want to avoid that at all costs. Meantime, another case, Brian Walshe back in court today for closing arguments as the defense rests without calling one single witness. Mehek, quickly, is that a strategy, or do they literally just not have any witnesses to support their position?
The defense doesn't have witnesses. Otherwise, they would have called them. Brian Walshe was the only person to see his wife, to have a motive, to have an opportunity in a forensic trail. And what you don't want is to put a witness on trial or on the stand when they can't actually defend. If they weren't with Anna, if they weren't able to be an alibi for Brian, there's so much damning evidence against Brian that has unfolded during this case. The only thing the defense can say is that the body wasn't found, and they are relying heavily on reasonable doubt. And at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to win it over. One piece of evidence was damning enough in this case.
I mean, I think you would obviously win this case if you were a prosecutor. But at this point, with the way the evidence is set, I feel like I could win this case. I haven't practiced law since 2008. Carly thinks she could win this case. I mean, this guy is dead to rights. You have to make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's if you're the prosecutor, but I don't see any way that he gets off. Mehek Cooke, founder and president of American Frontier Strategies, thank you, as always.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.